welcome back to our countdown to kickoff special. And don't forget, keep those tweets coming at #KHOU. Well, joining me now are two men who really know the NFL from the inside out. They know how to deliver a hit and how to take a hit. Former Oilers quarterback Dan Pastorini is here, and also former Texans defensive end Indy Kalu. Gentlemen, let's talk about the big game coming up tonight. We'll start with the guy who keeps the train on the tracks for the Texans, quarterback Matt Schaub. This is an important year for him, isn't it?
It is an important year. He's, he's playing for a new contract and everything else, but he wants to prove himself. He's finally got a team around him that I think he can really excel in. And you can talk about the elite quarterbacks around the league. You watch how he develops throughout the year, and he'll be right up there with the best.
Well, and he got the new contract, but he's also has to stay healthy. That's a big key, isn't it?
Yeah, he has to stay healthy. Just by nature of the position, he's the leader of the team. But Matt Schaub, he has grown from the guy that was one of the best backups to get a starting position with the Texans to one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. And just like Dan says, he needs to stay on the field for this team to have the success we expect him to have later in the season.
Now, right before the game tonight, Ben Tate placed on the inactive list. So that's Arian Foster's backup. And there'd already been some talk about maybe Foster had been getting too many touches. So how will this affect the game?
I think it's going to be an opportunity for Forsett to come in and kind of show his stuff. If you look back at the Denver Broncos when they went to the Super Bowl, they had three good running backs, and they could just put anyone in there, and they'd still be 1,000-yard rushers. And Forsett has shown that he can really play pretty well. This might be a good time for him to showcase tonight.
Well, and he's at an impressive camp, and he's a veteran, so he knows what's going on with all of this stuff.
Yeah, I personally disagree with the sentiment that Arian Foster's getting the ball too much. When you have the best running back in the NFL, you just keep feeding him and you keep feeding him and until the wheels fall off.
And you know a little bit about giving the running back the ball a lot.
But it's also nice to have that fresh running back wear that defense down, too, that tandem.
Earl Campbell out, didn't you?
Yeah, we did a little bit. But, we had a couple of good guys, Ronnie Coleman, to back him up that did a good job, too.
Defense for the Texans, number one in the league. It's been fantastic.
Outstanding. I mean, what can you say? I said it a long time ago. Get Wade Phillips in here, it'll change things around, and it did. And J.J. Watt is just the most tremendous athlete I've ever seen. But that whole defensive group is great. Kareem Jackson, under a lot of ridicule, he's really done well covering the receivers this year, and last week returning that 1 for 6.
Indy, let me ask you quickly about that with Kareem, because he was much maligned as a rookie, and boy, has he really turned things around.
Right, I think they threw him into the fire too quick, but now he's grown every single game with all the issues that he's had. He's learned from them. That's what you want from young players, to learn from the mistakes, and he's not making the same mistakes he made last year, and it's fun to watch him grow.
Okay, on the other side of the ball, when you talk about the Jets, they got a quarterback situation going on. Mark Sanchez is a starter, but we expect to see Tim Tebow tonight.
Well, they need to put some players around Sanchez. They don't have a good running attack. Now they lost their receiver last week. They just don't have anything surrounding him. Their offensive line is tough, too. But, unfortunately, the quarterback gets all the blame sometimes, and I think it's unjustly so with him. I think what they ought to do is put Tebow at running back tonight. It might be their best running attack.
Okay, you guys have been in the locker room. Tebow, distraction or help?
I personally think he's a help. I mean, from every player that I've talked to, everybody that played with him, whether it be at Florida, Denver, they say he's the real deal, and they rally behind his work ethic and his toughness. I think it's only a distraction when the media continues to ask other players about just one player in Tim Tebow.
Well, he'll be going against a very good Texans defense tonight, because the Texans have the number one defense in the league, and they have the number one defense for a reason. They have a lot of good players chasing the ball, but one guy has been head and shoulders above everyone else. Daniel Gutera has more on Mr. J.J. Watt.